All right, good morning, everyone. Today, what I'm going to do is make a video of me playing one of the robot games on BBO so that you can see what that's all about, if it's something you've been interested in but haven't really tried. It's also going to be a challenge for me just to kind of boil down my thought process on these. I've got a couple of tables of poker going at the same time, too, so this might be a little slower than it would normally be, but we're going to undergo this challenge here. So anyway, hope this turns out well, and maybe I'll even score all right. Okay, so we're going to go to the Bridge Base site and play bridge now. Logging in. And if you go to ACBL World, one of the competitions I really like, and again, this is an individual robot tournament. You're going to be playing with 3 robots at the table, which means you can play on your own time. You don't have to worry about having a partner or opponents. And you can, throughout the day, come back to this. Like you have a 24-hour period to play your, this one's 18 hands. There's some that are 12 that I've played in before. But anyway, you get to all 18 hands at once or do a couple of hands at a time, log off, come back in later when you feel like playing more hands. It's real nice and convenient. It usually has about 400 or 500 people competing every day. So if you can win this thing, like it really feels like a sense of accomplishment. And it's, you know, it's a stretch goal to be able to take one of these down. So we click on it. We pay our $1.95. You can win points doing these. And we're just going to play now. And here we go. One of the features of this particular competition also, and I believe this is the same for like the individual robot tournaments that are run as national events now, is that no other person at the table has more high card points than you do. And that can come into play sometimes. So like on hand 1, I have 18 high card points, and that means that nobody else at the table can have as many as 19. So that's not super interesting when you're looking at as many as 18, but you know, there are tactical considerations when you have 11 or 12, say, and you have the knowledge that nobody else at the table can have more high card points than you. So that's kind of one interesting little twist to these competitions. All right, so it's 2 passes to me, and seems pretty normal to open a heart. Partner bids 2 hearts. This is a good place for losing trick count. I appear to have 5.5 losers, which is 1.5 more tricks than I might have otherwise. I haven't given myself any credit for the Queen Jack of Diamonds by that calculation or the Jack of Spades. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and bid 4 hearts on this hand. It's maybe a slight overbid, but I'm going to do it. And I'm doing that. I'm not going to get fancy like with a game try or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of bash this one and hope for the best. So let's count tricks. We have 6 trumps and the ace of spades for 7. Unfortunately, the Queen Jack of Diamonds are not going to do us a hill of beans worth of good here. So we're up to 6 hearts, ace of spades is 7, ace of clubs is 8. So we got some problems here. We could ruff a spade for 9. The trouble being that we would lose 1 spade, 2 diamonds, and 1 club in the process. So a better idea is probably to try and set up the clubs for 3 tricks, such that we take 6 trumps, the ace of spades, and 3 clubs. And it's lucky for us that they didn't lead a spade, right, to go ahead and set up that winner immediately for the defense. If they had done that, we would have no shot at making this contract. So we've actually got a shot at a very good board right off the bat because we're in a marginal game and they have made the wrong lead. As it turns out for them, I say wrong, that just means unfortunate, I guess, for them. Okay. So let's see if there's any other snags to the play if we're going to try and play this club suit for 3 tricks. What are the odds that, so I'm going to need West to have at least one of these club honors, right? I'm going to double finesse him. What are the odds that he has at least one of the club honors? Well, it's the same question as asking, what are the odds that East doesn't have both? Okay, these are equivalent ways of thinking about the same thing. And the chances that East has both is basically 25%, right? The odds that he has one is 50% times the odds that he has the other one is basically 50%. I'm skipping a little bit of detail there, but 25% is close enough. So we got like a 3-to-1 shot that West is going to have one of these club honors. And I've got my 10 tricks that will allow me to perhaps dispose of both my spade losers and come to 10 winners and 3 losers. Okay? And this is a pull trump hand. We don't need any of Dummy's trumps to rough losers with. So we're just going to go ahead and, as they say, get the kids off the street immediately. Yep, here we go. Meanwhile, I flop top pair and an open-ended straight draw. That's nice. Oh, also remember, on your trump pulling, rather than counting up to 13, we are starting with the number 3, which is the number of trumps they had, and then subtracting. So when I saw them both follow to the first trump, it's like 3 minus 2 is 1. I have to pull one more round, and then my job is done. So now we have to win the ace of spades, and they've actually given us an even better option now. If we take this club hook and it works, we can pitch the queen of diamonds on the club winner in the dummy. So cross our fingers at this point. We are a pretty big favorite to win this club finesse because of restricted choice. Inferences, is that the word I'm looking for? Yes, right, not implications, inferences. And as a reminder, that being that if East had both honors, he could have won either one. Therefore, when he plays a particular honor, it's less likely that he has the other one. Or we could just think of it, if it makes sense to you, then I don't need to explain it. Anyway, we have no option but to take this club finesse. So, like, even if it was a big underdog, we've still got to try and take it here. Cross our fingers. Yay, math. So now we're going to play the ace of clubs, pitch the queen of diamonds. And, you know, the 10 of clubs is a surplus winner here. We could throw a spade, but we still got to lose a spade. All right, so do that. And do that. And now as soon as we win the trick, we can hit the claim button and move on with our lives. So board 1 should be very good for us. All right, we have 17 balanced. If it goes past, we're going to open a no trump. Just keep the ball in the fairway here. I think that the bots play 4-way transfers, but the cool thing is you can just click on the 2 no trump bid, and it says minor transfer. It's actually a transfer to clubs. Okay, so anytime you don't know what the bot's doing, and sometimes the bot just loses its mind, but normally on the first round of the auction, the bot has what it says it has, which is 6+ clubs here. It's asking us to bid 3 clubs, and we get dumped there. And again, we have so many high card points, 17 this time, that little trick about having the most high card points at the table probably isn't going to pay dividends for us. But just remember, we're going to keep that in our back pocket, that fact about these contests. Maybe we'll be able to use it on a hand later on. Okay, so let's count our winners. We're probably going to lose 1 club. Right, so it looks like we have 5 clubs. And let's count the tricks this time from North's perspective, because it's the hand that has more trumps. Okay, in other words, we don't gain extra tricks by roughing in the North hand. We gain extra tricks by roughing in the South hand, if that's possible. So we have probably 5 trumps. The ace king of hearts is 7. The ace of spades is 8. The ace of diamonds is 9. Are there places that we could score an extra trick? Yes. The diamonds could be 3-3. That would get us up to 10. The diamonds could be 4-2 or 5-1, and they might let us rough a diamond in the dummy, but that really doesn't seem like the best course of action here. That being said, I think that our best play here is to take the ace king of hearts right away. pitch a spade, and start playing some diamonds and see what happens. I don't want to draw the trumps immediately on this hand because I might want to rough diamonds. And let me just make sure that it doesn't make sense to try and play spades here. I think that it's right to pitch a spade on the king of hearts. All right, we got our plan. Now the play is going to proceed pretty quickly from there once we've got our plan. Notice that, like, if you do that boring count tricks thing at trick 1 before you shotgun a card off the dummy, the rest of the play proceeds pretty quickly. So pitching a spade like we said we were going to. And now we're just going to tackle diamonds and see what they want to do. Oh, something interesting happened. They set up the diamonds here. The 10 of diamonds is actually good at this point. Let's see what they do. Well, that's interesting. They didn't rough it out. So the dummy is good except for the missing king 9 5th of clubs. The fact that they played a heart here instead of a diamond makes me think that perhaps this heart is getting over-roughed on my right. So I think what we're going to do is try the 8 of clubs here, and then just play ace of clubs and a club, and give up a trick to the king. The only way we'd be able to manage the clubs for no losers is if East had specifically king and 1. Then we could do it. Is there a reason not to do that? Yeah, West could play a 4th heart or diamond, then we get in trouble. So I think I'm just going to play the clubs ace and another if this 8 of clubs lives. And it didn't. So now we're back to probably trying for king on our right. And we're just going to have to lose a trick to the king of clubs here. 6-2. He's got, what, 2? He's got 1 club left, so it doesn't matter what I rough it with here. Get our plus 110. It feels like plus 110 isn't the greatest score there, but it is a plus on a part score deal, so I'll remain mildly optimistic about that score. And like, I'll tell you, like, this is a point where I feel like, especially when you're making a video and you're kind of worried about making mistakes in front of other people, you just gotta brush that off. Like, I don't really expect perfection of myself. I make tons of errors, and wasting any energy about whether I could have made an extra trick on that one isn't going to do me any good right now. Like, I could always go back and review it later on if I felt like it was important enough. So it's not like I want to stick my head in the sand about it, but it's like I want to move on to board 3 and continue racking up as many good scores as I can. So that's where you should be at mentally. All right, so we deal on this one, and we have 12 high card points. Okay, so we already know that the high card points are distributed pretty evenly around the table here. Nobody can have more than 12 because that's the way the hands are set up. That being said, we're just going to open a spade. I have 6 losers. Probably just going to open a spade and rebid 2 spades. It's somewhat tempting to bid 3 spades here, but I think that would be an overbid. And we're playing pair scoring. We don't need to bid every game that moves. 4-2 offsuit is a fold. And partner invites with 2 no trumps. Now I think we can go ahead and accept it. And we certainly want to be playing spades, so I'm just going to bid 4 spades. And notice, like, even if partner produces a trump void, we can play the suit for 1 loser. All right, so they played a spade. And we have what looks like 6 spade tricks. It's possible he just picked up his partner's king doubleton or king singleton. So we have probably 6 spade tricks, maybe 7. No heart tricks. We have at least 1 club trick, maybe 2. If we played ace of club before they dislodged the ace of diamonds, we could throw our diamond loser on that. So a couple different ways we can play this hand. Let's see what happens in trump suit first and then reassess. Well, trumps are 5-0 against us. Is that right? Yep, 7-1 in the dummy. That's called a Hawaiian split, Hawaii 5-0. All right, what are we going to do here? If I went out to the dummy to take the club finesse, I might not get back out there to get all the clubs. So, what to do, what to do. If I just give up a club here, I'm going down for sure, because they will get a club, 2 hearts, and the king of spades. 4 spades is a pretty normal contract, so I don't think I have to worry about that too awfully much. If I ran the jack of diamonds at this point and it lost, I could get rid of the club loser on the long diamond. And I think that's what we want to do here, is just try the diamond finesse. So we'll go ahead and win this. And take this diamond hook. Yes, that loses, but we have a diamond winner set up in the dummy now. The 9 of clubs is almost surely not from king 9, so we're just going up ace of clubs. And we need to make sure we pitch one of our losers now before we knock out the king of spades, right? So if we try to knock out the king of spades right now, they'll cash a club and 2 hearts. Okay, so we got to take our discard right away. And it's probably better to go ahead and discard. Let's see, does this matter at all? I think it does not matter, but the club is probably safe. And now we're just going to score all of our spade tricks except the one. Hopefully my set of 7s is good here. Oh yeah, way good. And we're just going to be down 1 here. Okay, pretty normal. Nothing we can do about that at all. Everything is in the wrong place. All right, we have 14 balanced, and they open a spade after 2 passes. And this is one of those hands where you've got a hand you would have opened the bidding with, but there's nothing to do when you're in an overcalling situation. Don't be my recommendation not to get cute and do something like bid a no trump here, fudging by a point because you have no discipline. There's nothing to recommend this hand. Okay, it's going to work fine on defense, and if this is really our hand, partner's not going to let it die. All right, West bids a no trump, but we have no reason to deviate from what we thought earlier. And we can say for certain that East is not going to come down with as many as 15 high card points here. Okay, the conditions of contest dictate that the dummy is going to have 14 or fewer. We're just going to pass and play defense. All right, so partner leaves the 10 of diamonds. It's possible he's got the queen. when he leads the 10, like he would lead the 10 from queen 10-9, but the robots defend very passively. So I would be pretty surprised if he showed up with the queen here, actually. So let's ask ourselves what that means about the hand. Declare has 3 diamond winners, and whatever else I guess he comes to. There's not really any super amount of planning that we need to do right now. I guess one thing you do is look at the dummy type, and there's no reason to get active as far as we can tell with this sort of dummy. We have the ace queen of spades over the king. We have the king of clubs over the queen. We have some heart stuff. We are going to be defending this hand probably, just trying to get out of our own way as much as we can. And we're going to remember the first principle of discarding, which is we keep length with Declare's suits. We keep parity with both Dummy's hand that we can literally see and Declare's hand, if it's possible for us to infer how many cards he has in a particular suit. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and follow to the diamond. Place the queen of clubs off the dummy. It's correct to cover here. And we're just going to play a diamonds back. Okay, so there is no way that Declare is doing anything with that spade suit. The 8 of spades is a completely useless card in our hand, therefore we pitch it. So partner pitches on the 3rd round of clubs. Dummy had 3, we had 4. That means Declare started with 4 clubs and fewer than 3 spades, right? Because he would have raised 1 spade to 2 spades. So, and we've seen him follow to 2 diamonds. Our 9 of clubs is up now. That's good. So we're just going to win this. We're not in a hurry to cash the queen of spades. We don't need to do that yet. And now partner should be able to just lead to our good hand. And notice that if partner keeps on cashing diamonds here, we're going to get stuck in 2 bullet bill. So the ace and queen of hearts are gone. We can pitch the king of hearts here to basically yell, hey, my hand is good. Does partner have only diamonds left? Is that true? What is partner doing? Is partner violating 2 bullet bill here? Oh my gosh. Let's see. I think partner just got another diamond left, but I'm not 100% sure here. We're going to pitch the heart and keep the spade, I guess. Oh, lucky guess by me. Notice that partner completely shouldn't have done that. It's exactly the topic of the video from earlier in the week, right? Partner should have played a spade to my hand as soon as I pitched the king of hearts. Anyway, we survived that. And we're on to board 5. Partner opens a heart. We have 13 high card points, so we know that partner doesn't have as many as 14. We have great distribution here. Should we go potentially looking for a slam here? Like what would it take for partner to have in his hand to make slam good? Like the ace of spades and the ace queen of hearts would make slam very tasty. I don't think I want to give up on slam here. And I don't want to bid Blackwood because that answer doesn't do me any good, right? If partner just counts his key cards, he's going to be counting the ace of clubs, which is a card that doesn't do our hand any good. All right, so let's see if I can splinter in clubs and see if that lets partner wake up at all. If he bids 4 hearts over 4 clubs, I think I'm just going to be done with it and hope that I get an extra trick into play and or 6 hearts doesn't have any play to it. Let's scroll over 4 clubs here and make sure it's a splinter. Yep, splinter. 1 or fewer clubs, 4 plus trumps, 13 to 16 points. That sounds like what I got. Okay, and the plan here is if partner makes any encouraging move, we're going to bid 6 hearts. If partner signs off in 4 hearts, I'm going to be done. Okay? Partner just signs off in 4 hearts, I'm done. It's still very possible that he has the right cards for slam here, because we've actually got a better hand than we might have had for the splinter as far as playing strength, but it's match points, and we don't have to bid everything that's magic. So let's see what partner's got for this. He's got a hand that's going to require the trumps to be 2-2 to make slam, so this is actually a slam we're pretty glad we're not in. And if we count the tricks here, on the ace of spades lead, we have king, queen, jack of spades is 3, ace, king of diamonds is 5, ace of clubs is 6. If the hearts come home, that's 11, adding our 5 trumps. And we can rough a club in the dummy for 12. So this is our last loser if the trumps behave. And if the trumps don't behave, we've got a trump loser. And it's a pretty simple hand outside of that. Okay, we can actually just hit the claim button here. On to hand 6. Pass to us, we have 13 points. We open a heart. 2 spades. Partner makes a negative double here. And they did 3 spades on our right. We have a pretty good hand. It's 6 losers, so it's a trick more than we might have when we open the bidding. Let's check what partner's double is defined as. Negative double, 4 plus clubs, 4 plus diamonds, 9 plus total points. So it sounds like the points are pretty evenly distributed around the table. I've got some nice cards for partner in the jack 10 of diamonds and the ace king of clubs. If partner had a singleton heart, we'd probably be looking at 2 trump losers and a spade. Maybe he could cover our diamonds. Say he's got ace king of diamonds. I don't have any good way to. This bet smells fishy, and it was. Yeah. There's nothing, no better feeling in poker than making a hero call and having it be right. Flopping a set feels pretty good. All right, back to this. I wonder what double would be here. 5 plus hearts, 15 to 21, 16 to 22 total points, and forcing. Do I want to make that call, or do I just want to bid 4 hearts? Worst case scenario, I buy a trump void. They tap me in spades. I think I just want to bid 4 hearts here, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, sweet. Partner produces jack and a heart, so we've gotten super lucky there. Some really good cards in the dummy, like the king 9 of diamonds are good cards. The ace of spades is obviously a good card. The jack and a heart is, we might want to buy a lottery ticket because that's a very good holding for us. So let's count our tricks. We have 5 trumps. We have the ace of spades for 6. We have the ace king of clubs for 8. And we have however many winners the diamond suit produces. So we don't need dummies trumps for anything. Therefore, this is going to be a pull trump hand. So we're going to win the ace of spades and start high card from the short side and see what happens when they win the ace of trumps. And remember, we got 8 trumps. The opponents have 5. 5 is the key number. We're going to start with that. We're going to work backwards. Okay, so the opponents have 3 trumps left at this point. And they're just going to play a trump. We already ascertained that this is a pull trump hand. Our number is down to 1, so we'll go ahead and do that. And pitch a spade from the dummy. And work on the diamond suit. Okay, so that's all good news for us. Now if the diamond suit is 3-3, we can actually take the rest of the tricks. If the diamond suit isn't 3-3, we might have a club diamond squeeze if somebody has all the diamonds and the club guard. So we're in that position where we have all the rest of the tricks but one, right? There are 8 tricks remaining. We have 2 diamonds for sure, 2 clubs, and 3 hearts. Therefore, we're going to run all our winners and see what happens. And I'm just going to go ahead and cash the ace king of clubs here to make my life simpler. All I'm going to have to do is look for clubs that are bigger than the 6. All right. So right now, queen, jack, 10, and 7 are guarding our 6. Let's see what we catch when we go fishing here. There's the 7. And there's the jack and the 4. So we still need to watch for the queen, 10 of clubs when we catch our hearts. And there he pitches a diamond. This is probably style points diamond pitched by East, just to let me know, hey, you got the rest of the tricks, and it's even the beer, so that's extra style points. And now since the diamond suit is running, we can go ahead and claim. And that feels like a pretty good board too. Moving on to 7, we are the dealer. And we have 15 balanced, so it's a very easy one, no trump opening. Lefty bids 2 clubs. The robots play Capoletti, I believe, so this should be a 1-suited hand. Yep. And double my partner Stamen. He's playing what's called systems on. So the doubles, like, I hate even saying the phrase stolen bid, but this is maybe the one stolen bid situation. All right, so partner's asking if we have a major. We don't. Therefore, we bid 2 diamonds, and partner says, let's try to take 9 tricks with no trump suit. Nothing interesting happening at the poker tables. All right, 7 of hearts lead. Count our tricks. 3 hearts. Ace of spades is 4. However many diamonds this produces might get us up to 9, even if we get lucky in the diamond suit. The king of clubs could be in the right place for a 10th trick, but we don't want to attack this club suit under any condition. So I think we're just going to work on diamonds immediately. Is it important where we win the first trick on this one? Hey, Oscar. We are going to want late entries to the dummy. Is that true? Maybe to get spades going. I think it's right to win this again. And we're going to win with the highest of equivalent cards. Notice here that, like, playing the 9, it's not going to get an extra trick for you, so you might as well be sneaky and win the ace. Also, if we won the 9, we'd be potentially blocking a late entry to the dummy in the queen of hearts. Okay, so we said we were going to try diamonds, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so at this point, the diamonds are running. Let's take stock again. We've got 3 in the bank, 3 more diamonds because the queen is falling singleton on the next round. They only have 1 diamond left. Gets us to 6. The 2 hearts get us to 8. The ace of spades gets us to 9. Let us see if we can squeeze an extra trick out of the spade suit. That's what I want to do. I don't want to put everything on the club finesse here, right? Because if the club finesse lost, it's possible the roof might just cave in. Now, it's also possible that if we take a spade finesse here and the clubs are situated particularly poorly, that we might go down. Okay, but I think it's worth trying to go for some over tricks here and just be willing to pay off if the club suit is terribly lying for us. So we're going to start with the 10. That goes king. That's kind of interesting. I want to win the ace of spades. Come back to hand and play another spade. I think I do. And the question now is whether when we play a spade up, are we going to finesse for the 9, or are we going to play the jack? I think I'm going to run the 7 of spades when I come back to my hand and do that. That's not good. So what do we want to do now? I guess we have to pitch a club. The spade set up in the dummy, but now when they switch to a club, this is going to be uncomfortable. Oh, they didn't switch to a club. That's not the toughest defense they could have put on me. So I actually have 5 winners at this point, right? I just have 2 hearts, the jack of spades, and the 2 diamonds. There's no hope for an extra trick, and we can just claim 4 more. All right, hand 8. That one feels pretty good too. I didn't look to see where the ace of clubs was, and I'm not going to waste any mental energy on it at this point. So our partner opens with a weak 2 in diamonds. I'm pretty sure that's what we play. Yep, weak 2 diamond. There is no reason at all to bid here. And we're playing not vulnerable at the 2 level in our 9-card fit. That can't be a bad thing. We have 14 points. Partner has 8, which gives the opponents 18. Neither one of them individually can have more than 14, which means that both opponents have at least 4 points. We'll see if that information matters at all. They lead the king of spades. This is almost surely from ace king. This is a pull trump hand because we don't need any of dummy's losers. We don't need any of the short side's losers to cover trumps, I mean, to cover any of North's losers. So we're going to be pulling trump as soon as we get in. 10 of hearts is played. So this is win the ace of hearts. And we actually are going to go ahead and pitch one of our hearts on the king of clubs here. Because if we were to take a trump finesse and it lost at this point, we would actually have 1 more loser than we needed to have. And now we're going to play the trumps. We're going to start with the jack, okay, because we want the lead to be in the dummy if the first round finesse wins. Okay, we've got the spots. We've got ace, queen, 10, 9 to be able to afford leading the jack here. Pocket jack seems like an all-in. What am I, 600? 25 big blind? Yeah, that's right. Okay, back to this. Trumps are drawn, right? We had 9, which left the opponents with 4. We count backwards from 4. They both followed. Our number is 0. Everything in our hand's a winner except for the 5 of hearts, so I'm just going to claim the rest of the tricks -1. All right, we have 16 points this time in a 5-card spade suit. Unbalanced hand, it's 5-4 shape. Partner raises 2 spades, and this is another good time for loser count. And we have pocket 9s racing against ace king, and we lose that one. Yeah. Okay, we have 3 spade losers, a heart losers 4, 1.5 diamond losers is 5.5. So kind of in no man's land here. We have bad trumps. Let's see, sort of in game try range. What would 3 diamonds be? Plus a diamond, 16 to 17 total points, forcing 3 spades. So I guess we could get partners' input if we decided to invite here. Against that, we'd be giving away information. But I'm going to try this game try here. I'm actually not a huge fan of game tries, but at least, you know, partner will get to say whether they like their hand or not. Partner says no mas, and we're going to respect that. Remember, it's not the goal of match points to bid thin games. The goal of match points is to take as many tricks as you can. All right, so what do we got here? Looks like 4 trump winners. The ace of hearts is 5, the ace of clubs is 6, and however many extra tricks we can get out of the diamond and heart suits. All right, so we want to be playing hearts from the dummy for sure, and we might want to play diamonds from the dummy. So we would like as many entries to the dummy as possible. Those need to come from the trump suit. And we for sure want to play hearts from the dummy side. So the first time we're out there, we're going to play a heart to the 10. And this is a go ahead and pull trump hand, right? Because we don't need any of the shorter hand, the hand with fewer trumps, the north hand. We don't need any of their trumps to rough South's losers. Notice too the queen of clubs lead. That's from queen jack, almost 100%. So we know that the points in the club suit are 3 and 3 so far. And we had a good hand. We had what? 16, I think I said. 10, 14, 16, yep. So again, it's probably not going to help us to count the points on this one. But if we had like, 13 or 14, we were in this situation, you'd want to start counting the points for sure because of what it might mean for the diamond suit later on. All right, without further ado, let us lead a spade up. We had 9, the opponents have 4, they follow to the first round. Our magic number is 2. Oh, isn't this nice? They're just going to lead a heart for us. And the 9 makes me think that the king and the jack are both on my right side. So if we think back about the points at this point, they both had 3 points in the club suit by inference. West had the ace of spades for 7. And East looks like she's got king jack of hearts here for 7 points there also. I guess it's probably pretty likely that East doesn't have both the king and the queen of diamonds because, and that would be one way to play the diamond suit, is low to the jack. Because if that's the case, she probably would have had enough to open the bidding. And going back to the auction, it was pass to us. So I'm guessing that West has at least one of the king or queen of diamonds. All right, we're going to go ahead and play another trump up. The trumps are out at this point. Could we eliminate everything? Leave a trump in both hands. Go ahead and play a heart here. And close out the heart suit. Everybody's followed to that. So the clubs very likely were 5-5. The trumps were 2-2. The hearts were 4-3, which probably makes the diamonds 3-2. Is there anything I can gain from this? I could try the effect of playing ace and a diamond, hoping that West has a doubleton diamond honor. We should rough the 7 of clubs if we're going to do that. So let's do that. And I'm going to play it like it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to maintain trump fluidness here, which means that like I could get to the 7 of spades if I wanted it as an entry, and I could also get back to my hand if I wanted that as an entry. It doesn't matter here, but it's a good habit to get into. Leave yourself trump entries in both hands. So I'm going to go ahead and rough the 7 of clubs. And we're going to play ace and a diamond, which doesn't even help us because the rough slip doesn't do us any good. So this has all just been silliness. We can rough that. And jack of diamonds, they win that. We ended up making 4, which that's fine. All right, on to board 10. We have 14 balanced. I would have opened this hand 1 no trump, just because of strategic concerns with the way the bots defend. you kind of open up your no trump range to include 14s. However, when they open a diamond in front of me, I'm not going to stretch to overcall one no trump. What I can do with this hand, though, is make a takeout double because I'm short in their suit, and I have support for all the other suits and something resembling an opening hand. Partner bids 2 hearts, which shows intermediate values, maybe something like 8 to 10. He'll have at least 4 hearts for this bid. Do I have anything extra? Got a little bit extra, maybe like a queen extra here. Let's make sure what he's got. Jump new suit, 4 plus hearts, 9 to 12 total points. I have bad trump. It might be advantageous to know that East has the high card points. The King of Spades is like very likely a working card. What would it mean if I were to just delicately bid 3 hearts? That sounds about like what I've got. We're going to do that. Give partner 1 chance to bail. Partner goes ahead and carries the ball over the goal line, and we're going to play 4 hearts. Oh, sweet pocket jacks to pocket 10s here. It's a nice double up. Gotta love being one pip higher than your opponent in situations like that. All right, counting time. We have 4 club winners. We have the ace of diamonds is 5. We have however many trumps this brings in, and the spade suit is a question mark also. If they hadn't knocked out the ace of diamonds immediately, we could have potentially pitched our diamond losers on the ace king of clubs, but that's not going to work at this point. So what we're going to do instead is win the ace of diamonds and go ahead and take a trump hook to the queen and then see what happens. And I'm just giving up on getting rid of my diamond losers here. We're just going to have one diamond loser. So East has already shown up with 8 points here, and the ace of spades gives him 12. Our count was king of spades, ace of diamonds, ace king at 14, which means he can't have, like the maximum number of points he can have at this point is a queen. We can pitch one of our spade losers on the club, which means that the diamond winner is excess, which means that we can go ahead and rough this just in case. Wasn't necessary, but it didn't cost us anything. We go ahead and play a heart. That means we still have a trump loser. So let's go ahead and pitch our spade on the clubs. We're going to overtake the jack of clubs here because we need the entry to the dummy. Play the king of clubs to pitch our spade. And then we're going to claim the rest of the tricks but one. Actually, we're going to play this out just in case I miss the heart spot. But I'm pretty sure they still have the 10. Yep. We win this. There's East last point, so East had a 14 count also. And we claim down 1, whatever. Okay, we're not going to drop the singleton king of hearts, and they just ended up taking 4 tricks. C'est la vie. A 5-minute break in poker here, so we can speed up for 5 minutes. 13, we open a diamond. Part of it's a heart, we can just bid 2 hearts. Now let's check our loser count here. 2 hearts, 2.5 diamonds is 4.5, 2 spades is 6.5, so I don't think this hand is worth more than 2 hearts. And partner passes, and again, we should be very happy because we're playing at the 2 level without game values in our known 8-card fit. And that's always a good thing. All right, let's count our tricks. If the trumps behave, we're going to have 3 heart tricks. Ace king of spades is 5. Ace of clubs is 6. We could rough a couple of clubs in the south hand. That would get us up to 8. And we have, looks like we're probably going to play the spade suit by finessing the jack on the second round. Let's see what happens in this diamond suit. The king of diamonds tells us that East has ace king, so his count is already up to 7 points here. And he plays another diamond. So would he do this from Jack? We don't need the extra winner anyway, really, do we? He played the Queen of Diamonds and it dropped the Jack. Could pitch a spade. This might all just be a waste of time anyway. If the Queen of Diamonds gets roughed, it's very likely by the hand that has more hearts anyway, so it's possible they'd be just trumping with their natural trump trick anyway. We're going to go up Queen here. It's rough with the Jack. That's interesting. So we now know that very, very likely the 9, 4, and 2 of trump are on our with East. And we also know that East had the Jack of Diamonds. So 8 points for East there. We have the most points at the table, and we had 13. So this is nice. They return a spade for us. Just give us that finesse. And I'm going to go ahead and start roughing some clubs here. Oh, that's nice. The Queen Jack of Hearts was Doubleton. They had 5 to begin with, and they've followed once and roughed once, so they're down to 2 trumps. We know the East has both of those. West wouldn't have played the Queen unnecessarily here. So if we pull the trump, we've only got 1 more club that we can rough. East remaining spots are the 9, 4. So we could rough 1 club, come to the Ace of Spades, rough the other club, and she's still got to follow to the 10 of Diamonds. So we can actually still do everything here. Rough a club, play to the Ace of Spades, rough another club, extract 1 of the 2 remaining hearts. Oh, wow, West had Queen Jack 9, so we're just good. Huh. It's interesting that he chose to rough with the... have to think about that later. Anyway, on to 12 for the time being. We have 14 balanced, and again, we have no overcall. Looks like we're going to be on defense here. East has spades and hearts and not more than 14 points. This is kind of a hand that looks like it calls for, if they've gone back to spades, it would maybe be a trump leading hand, right? Because we have ace, queen of hearts behind the heart bidder. Now that that's trumps, I think we just want to lead the king of diamonds. King 6, 3, 9, huh? Declare's got 5 spades and 4 hearts that we know of. So I think we want to go ahead and continue attacking diamonds here. And like, I'm not really reading anything into the 3 of diamonds here. That the robot doesn't really use discarding signals, which like some people roll their eyes at, but I actually think it's a good thing because it teaches you to not rely on signals necessarily, and it makes you think about bridge logic more. So I'm actually kind of in favor of the robot's discards not meaning much, but I think I'm in the minority on that. There's a lot of people who are frustrated, like I can't read what my robot's signaling. Well, yeah, you have to work it out for yourself. Okay, we've made a good lead. That's surprising. So it looks like Declare has 5 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 1 club. And notice, like, if I'd led something else and she chose to take the club finesse, like this is all assuming that she's got 1 club. It's possible she's 5-5 in the majors. She could have gotten rid of one of those diamond losers. So we're actually off to a good start to this defense here. And Declare has no side suit losers. This is actually kind of a recipe for giving a rough slough here. Could that cost? Declare pitches spades from the dummy. Does that do her any good? Not exactly. What if we just attacked clubs here? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and give the rough slab here. Experiment with that. And the reason this is safe here is because Declare doesn't have any side suit losers. Declare's got whatever's happening in spades. The ace queen of clubs, she's out of diamonds. So those are kind of the prerequisites you would look for when you consider giving a rough slab. My partner pitched a spade on the diamond too, so this should be her last spade. Partner's hand at this point is 2 trumps and however many clubs that leaves. 5 clubs, I guess. She couldn't overruff the 8, which means that Declare's probably got king, jack, 9. It's interesting. Why would she not be able to overruff the 8? Why can't she overruff the 8? Super weird. Now we're underruffing the 10, huh? This is all very strange. So just in case she's got the king of hearts left, I guess I just missed a trump spot. It's kind of silly. Okay, so what did I do here? Should have taken 2 trumps and 3 diamonds. And I guess that's what we ended up taking anyway. So maybe it just kind of looked weird in the end. Anyway, yeah, let's shake that one off. If we did anything wrong, we did something wrong, and nothing we can do about it at this point. But I hope this gives you some encouragement that like a reasonably decent player like me, like just runs into these spots where lack of concentration or maybe playing poker at the same time or whatever just leads you to some silly looking stuff that happens. All right, anyway, they open a spade. We have 13 high card points. We are short in spades. We have something resembling an opening hand. We have support for the other suits. We're going to make a takeout double. Partner bids 1 no trump, and I don't really see any reason to overrule that. I described my hand. She said no trump's the place to play. I'll respect that. What do we got winner-wise? 3 hearts, however many clubs we can take, and the ace of diamonds. So it looks to me like the plan here is to win the heart, take a club finesse, and probably just duck a second round of clubs if it comes to that, because we don't have an entry to our hand outside of the club suit, so we need to be careful with that. And the opponents still have 3 clubs to the 10. Hopefully, well, they just return the 10 of clubs, so that makes life simpler. Let's restock here. 1 in the bank, 4 clubs is 5, ace, king, queen of hearts is 7, ace of diamonds is 8. Is there a chance for another trick? Not really. So I'm actually just going to win this, and to save my energy, actually we'll make sure nothing crazy is happening in hearts, like maybe the jack 10 was 3 times. Nope. So we have 4 more tricks. We're just going to claim them. On to 14. We have 14 balanced. I said I was going to open this hand at no trump earlier. Here we have an alternate though, so I'm going to open a spade on this one. Like I kind of don't want to tell. I don't want to do 2 weird things. I say weird. maybe against the field things on one hand. So I'm strongly in the camp of you open a no trump even with a 5-card major under most circumstances. But if we're talking about this situation where I already talked about we're going to fudge our no trump range by 1 point, I don't want to do that and conceal a 5-card major at the same. It's like there's 2 blemishes to opening a no trump. So I'll just hopefully play it down the middle by opening a spade. Partner makes a limit raise. Okay, that should be a hand that has about 8 losers. So if we count ours and come up with 6 or fewer, we're going to bid the game. Otherwise, we're just going to pass and play 3 spades. And if we scroll over 3 spades, it should show 4 spades and 10 to 12 points or something. Yep, 4 spades, 10 to 12 points. Exactly. Okay, back to counting our losers. Half a spade, 1.5 hearts is 2, 3 clubs is 5, 2 diamonds is 7. So I actually think this is probably a pass of 3 spades. Because I don't really have that much more than just an opening hand. Okay, and it looks like we are going to be sorry we did that because there are 10 tricks available here if the spades don't break 4-0. But we're not going to fret about that. We're just going to see how many tricks we can take. We have 5 heart tricks if this first heart lives. And even if, yep, 5 heart tricks. If the spades behave, that's 5 more for 10. The ace of diamonds is 11. And that is all we can come to, correct? Correct. And we can go ahead and pull trump because we don't need to rough anything from our own hand. Oh, and they roughed the first trick. That is actually very lucky for us, potentially, right? Because we've stayed out of a game that really we should have bid, as it turns out. And we've gotten super lucky in that they've roughed the opening heart lead, which does a couple of things. First of all, it compresses one of our heart tricks. Like we only have 4 heart tricks now instead of 5. And if West has a club entry, the ace or king of clubs, they can cash 2 clubs at this point, ending in West's hand, and deliver another heart rough, which would be 4 tricks for the defense. So this is one of those funny times at match points when you are actually delighted that something bad has happened. Okay, so we'll go ahead and unblock the heart suit and play the card that we're known to hold. Like East knows we've got the ace of hearts because his partner wouldn't have underlet it. And here comes the club barrage. With any luck, West is going to have the ace. Ooh, West doesn't have the ace, so that's bad news for us. Now we're just going to be taking the rest of the tricks and pitching our diamond loser on a heart winner. Okay, so I can actually just win this and claim. So we got super lucky that the hearts were 5-0, and then a little bit unlucky that East had both the ace king of clubs, so they could never beat it. Actually, I guess that's not technically true. Like if we look at the hand, West did have an entry. Oh, so this is actually super interesting. You know what should have happened there? When East cashed the king of clubs, West should have played the queen to show the jack, and then East could have underled his other big club to West's hand and gotten that second heart rough. So they actually could have beaten that still, and now I feel a little bit better again. Yay. All right, I have 12 and a 4-4-1 shape, and you already pretty much know that this hand isn't going to have a game in it, right? Because partner can't have more than 12, and neither opponent can have more than 12. All that being said, there's nothing stopping us from making our normal 1 club opening. There's 2 hearts on our left and 2 spades by partner. So we have at least a 9-card spade fit and at least 22 high card points. Does this change anything? I have 3, 5.5, 7 losers. That's not great. Do the hearts do me like any good? Partner's probably going to be able to rough diamonds in my hand. The king of clubs is actually probably well placed here since West made a preemptive overcall. Either way, I think we're going to raise to just 3 spades here and let partners see what they want to do. She goes ahead and bids the game, so I feel pretty good about this. All right, what do we got? We got 6 spade tricks. Remember, counting them from the North's perspective, because North has more trumps than South has. And we're missing 3 trumps here, so when we get around to pulling trump, that's the number. We're going to start with 3 and work down from there. All right, tricks. 6 spades. The king of diamonds, once the ace is gone, is 7. And the rest of the tricks that we can get are either going to come from the club king being onside, club ace being onside, and or roughing diamonds in the dummy. Okay, so it does not look like we can pull trump immediately here. And the hearts are probably 6-2 because of the auction. So it looks like West had king, jack 10, 6th of hearts. And we've already seen 8 points out of the East hand. So East couldn't have like the jack of diamonds and the ace of clubs at this point. And again, 9 times out of 10, this information isn't going to help you. But the times it does help you, you're going to feel super good that you took the time to do your detective work. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the 10 of hearts is led. And if we cover that, it doesn't do us any good. So let's just, can we afford to rough this? And pull 2 rounds of trump. Yeah, we can afford to pull 1 round of trump for sure, so we're going to do that. Remember, our number's 3 here. The trumps break 2-1, so that's good news for us. All we've got to do is lead a club to the king, see if that works. We've pulled the trump. We have 2 trumps left in the dummy to butter our 9 and 4 of diamonds. Let's see, at this point, West still has king, jack of hearts left. Is that true? That is true. So we got nothing fancy to do there. And we can just lay a club to the king, see if it works. It doesn't, so we're going to be down 1. And we'll just claim as soon as we get back on lead. And move on to board 16. We have 17 balanced and partner open to no trump in front of us. So, do we want to just bid 3 no trump, or do we want to invite 6 no trump, or do we want to just blast 6 no trump? I have 17. A downgrade is the fact that I'm 4-3-3. An upgrade is the very good spot cards, like the 10-9-8 of diamonds, even like the 8-7 of clubs and the 8-6 spades. You never know when those things might come into play. So I think I have enough that I'm just going to insist on the game here. I guess it's just possible that we're missing 2 aces. Like we have 17. Partner could have 15 and we'd be missing 2 aces possibly, as our missing 8 points. So just to check that we're not going to do that, I'm going to use Gerber here. Notice that I'm using it as a tool to just stay out of the disaster scenario. Like the disaster scenario is where he has exactly 15 and the 8 points we're missing are exactly the 2 aces. So when I bid Gerber here, the idea is unless partner somehow shows up with 0 aces, I'm going to bid 6 no trump. Okay, I don't need him to have 2 aces. I just need him not to have 0. Against that, you've got to always be a little bit worried that, like, could they double 4 clubs for the lead and it be a good thing for them? I suppose that's possible. I think I'm willing to take that risk here. So we're going to go ahead and bid 4 clubs. And I'm making sure by scrolling over it before I click it that it actually is Gerber. And thank goodness it is. This is like the first time I've used Gerber this year. I'm not sure I'm exaggerating. And we'll make sure 4 spades says we've got 2. That's great. We're just going to bid 6 no. Partner shows up with 17 also. And a count of the tricks reveals that we have 3 spades, and 4 hearts is 7, and the ace king of diamonds is 9. And it sure looks like the 10-9 of clubs are with East. So can we make 4 tricks out of the club suit? Possibly. Click fold a couple of times and then think about this. So one thing we could do is hope that West has King X, but that doesn't do us any good. We could hope the East has 10-9 Doubleton. That would that do us any good? We could win the Jack, then we could run that. I don't think that does us any good either, right? Does it? 10-7 small Jack, Queen, King, Ace, 8. So that doesn't do us any good either, actually. Don't think under any scenario it pays to play the Queen here. And there's just like absolutely no way the East has led away from the King of Clubs here. So let's do this and see what it fetches. I could just play a club to the 8 here, and that would get us the contract. Do I want to get greedier than that? Could it be that there's a club diamond squeeze? Could be. It's not super high likely. I think we're just going to play a club to the 8 and be done with it. And then play board 17 and 18. That's it. We have the rest of the tricks. We've got 1 in the bank, 3 spades is 4, 4 hearts is 8, 2 clubs is 10, 2 diamonds is 12. We're just going to win this with the 8. Look at that 8 that I talked about potentially being an interesting card. Lo and behold, turned into a trick. Moving on to 17. We have 15 balanced, 15 kind of yucky balanced, but look at this, partner just opens 4 spades in front of us. And in situations like these, if you were thinking about bidding more, you really shouldn't, because what we've got in our hand is kind of garbage. Like what you want to have when your partner preempts is you want to have tricks. You want to have quick tricks and you want to have trumps. It is somewhat likely that King of Hearts, Queen of Clubs, King of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds, it's somewhat likely that those things are just waste paper as far as partner's hand is concerned. Like picture partner having King 8 the spades, and I don't, maybe one other card on the side. It's possible that all this weird stuff like just isn't pulling any weight as far as tricks are concerned. So you should have absolutely no anxiety about just passing 4 spades here. And I bet this hand's going to not take long to play. Count our tricks. 8 spades. And 1 heart once we knock out the ace. That'll be 9. And look, we could actually go down on this hand if the ace queen of diamonds are with West. And we already know that West has the ace of diamonds. Why? Because East wouldn't underlead the ace of diamonds here. So I think we're just going to take our finesse at trick 1 for the queen of diamonds. I don't like our chances because the opponent, or not the opponents, the robots do not like making passive leads. And leading away from a side queen is not a passive lead here. So it's actually my guess that we're just going down on this hand via 2 diamonds, a club, and a heart. So here goes nothing. Oh, that's good. When the ace, so East actually did lead away from a queen here. If you think about what this means for the rest of her hand, if we know that the robots are in love with passive leads, it might mean that she's got stuff in all of the suits and didn't have a passive option. That's actually kind of another consequence of restricted choice type thinking, dogs that don't go bark in the night type thinking. So again, you're probably not going to do us any good on this hand, but this is the kind of thinking you want to develop because you never know when it might come into play on a hand. So they win the ace of clubs and to cash the ace of hearts. And all we have to do is pull their 2 trump. So I'm going to rough that. I'm going to re-enter the pot limit Omaha because I seem to have lost my chips. We're still during the rebuy period though, so that's nice. And we can just hit claim. And one board to go. And you'll notice that East had a nasty hand to lead from, right? Naked aces and the queen of diamonds and a singleton trump. So had that detective work mattered, it could have paid dividends on that one. And you'll see, like, just get used to making these kinds of connections. Like, oh, that's weird. I know this person doesn't like leading away from a queen in an auction like this, but they evidently have. What are the consequences for what the rest of his hand must look like? That's what bridge is, that kind of thinking, not conventions. Good, I got a conventions ran in. All right, we have 11 this time, which means that the points around the table, nobody can have more than 11, which means that everybody must have at least 7. Okay, so everybody at the table sitting on between 7 and 11 points on this deal. In the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and open. I like 2 hearts here because we've got a high offense to defense ratio, and we're red against white, so this is the situation where partner really ought to be playing you for a pretty solid citizen preempt. And it just goes float, and we are again at the 2 level with 9 trumps. Always a good thing, always a situation you want to try to avoid on the other side of the coin. If one side is comfortable, war principles just tell us that we want our opponents not to be in that spot, right? What is going on here? Slightly distracted by poker for a second. I'll be right with you. All right, back to this. Trick counting. 6 hearts. Ace of clubs is 7. We want to rough a club in the shorthand, so this means we can't pull trumps immediately. That'll get us to 8, and we'll just have to see what happens in the other 2 suits. But notice that one of our major takeaways is we don't pull trump immediately before we rough our club loser. Oh, and they've actually led from the west hand show. We can go ahead and pull 1 trump. We'll do that. Notice that now if we play a club and they win it and play another trump, we can still rough a club. Our magic number was 4. They both followed to the first trump, which leaves them with 2. Win that hand. We rough our club. The trumps are drawn. Play a spade. We're going to lose both spades. And they played a diamond for us. That's nice. They'll cash their spade, and that will be the end of our session. Oh, cool. So they've given us a chance of the squeeze here. Once again, we have 6 remaining tricks, and we have 5 of them. We have the king of diamonds, and we have our 4 heart winners. So the game here now, remember they have 1 big spade remaining. The game here is just going to be run all our trumps, and if somebody happens to have both the big spade and the diamond guards, they're going to be squeezed. Not high likelihood, but it doesn't cost you anything to try it. And here, all we have to do is look for the big spade. We keep our eagle eye out for the big spade. If we don't see it, we shrug, a little Bosa action there, and then just try and run your diamonds in the end. And then we're going to take a sneak peek at what our provisional score is. And we want to keep that beer card in the dummy, because if we squeezed and got a beer on the last hand of the day, that would make my entire day. Remember, keeping an eye out for that big spade. We haven't seen it yet. We still don't see it, so now it's time for, and see if the beer turns into the 13th trick. It did not. Oh well. Pretty cool that, like, back on hand 3, we got to see the robot violate the video from earlier in the week. So that's 18 boards. I hope that gives you kind of a feel for what's going on inside my head when I'm playing these things, and shows you, like, that's kind of a fun thing you can do during the day. And remember, you can close out, come back to it, play 3 hands now, 3 hands later, 3 hands after lunch, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. We'll torture ourselves by clicking here to see what our provisional score is. I'll go ahead and take a guess at this. It felt like a pretty solid session, not great. I'm going to say 60. And it's actually much lower than that. It's at 53, 59. I've noticed that my scores normally come up a little bit during the day, so I wouldn't be surprised if this improves to like a 56 by the end of the day. Not quite sure why that effect is. Maybe people are more alert in the morning, or the types of people who tend to play in the morning are stronger. Who knows what it is, but I've just noticed that effect. So yeah, that's the video on the ACBL Daylong 18 boards. And hope you enjoyed it and got something fun from this, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.